Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hearth of Britannia. It has been, what, 3 or 4 weeks since our last Rebel. I'm Rustic Dragon, and this is the May 1st Dragonsmeet, the first Dragonsmeet in May. Yay! I'm not even sure if we had one in April, and if not, I apologize for that. I'm still unpacking, getting my life in order, but it's getting there. It's finally starting to gain some momentum, and hopefully it'll snowball soon. I'm having some out-of-town guests visiting in May. And so because of that, that's a really, really, really big motivator to clean this place. So hopefully that will cause, as soon as I get this place cleaned, it'll cause me to want to get the set up and get a specific location made for Hearth of Britannia, just like we used to have, and get all kinds of fun stuff happening again. Today we have absolutely nothing scheduled. Joe Garrity from the Origin Museum has volunteered to do a somewhat impromptu Treasures from the Origin Museum, which I am incredibly thankful for. I appreciate that, as we miss Treasures from the Origin Museum just as much as we miss having our rabbles together. Aside from that, it's an open-ended Dragonsmeet. We can talk about Release 5. We can talk about what we hope for Release 6 with Shroud of the Avatar. We can talk about Ultima. We can talk about Wing Commander. We can talk about Star Citizen. We can talk about whatever you want. We can talk about David's beard oil. We got all kinds of fun stuff. But as with, and there's David's beard oil, with all Hearth of Britannia broadcasts, I like to start with introductions. So let's start from the far left. Browncoat, how are you doing today? Would you like to say hello and tell everybody who you are?
Sure. Hello. I'm Browncoat Jason on the Soda forums. Automata Dragon from the UDIC. I run the digital Lyceum for the Ultima Codex, and I'm pretty involved in the Soda Wiki. So that's me.
Outstanding. As always, welcome to the Hearth. It's good to see you again. Beard Commander, David.
Hello, it is I, Beard Commander / Lord Jothan / Argent Dragon / Beardy Balls / Chloe. And today's episode of the Dragonsmeet is brought to you by Dreambeard. I think this is the Carpenter scent. Yes. I hope I made Reeled happy.
So does it smell like cedar and pine and delicious?
It smells like
a sweaty man who's a carpenter.
It smells like it's a sweet smell. I can't really tell. It's not like it's like cologne for your beard.
So your beard can get all the dates.
Exactly. It'll get all the women.
Well, moving a little bit to the northeast in geographical location, Indian William, how are you guys doing tonight?
I was unprepared. I thought you were going in order. We're good. This is Will. He is Cash Dragon. I am Indy, not yet a dragon, and I'm strongly considering making that my dragon name just to screw with everybody when I actually do.
Not yet.
Not yet a dragon. Yeah, so that's probably going to be me at some point. That's us.
I kind of like not yet a dragon.
Somebody like the mustache.
Oh yes.
Oh
yeah,
god, it gets me hot.
Yeah, that makes me happy. Well, welcome, guys. So we are going in order, but remember, you're always last on your own page. So that makes it a little bit difficult. So Seth and Style, do you guys know which one is next?
Go ahead, Seth.
It is Seth.
Yay, me. I'm probably best known for working on the wikis, both the Ultima Wiki and Soda Wiki. And I also do indie game programming when I'm not working on Ultima stuff.
Yay. We're commenting in chat on how Google likes to randomly change things. Every time they change Hangouts, it definitely affects me and affects us at work. Probably the thing that's really bothered me the most, the biggest change that Google Hangouts has made that's bothered me the most, is making the thumbnails at the bottom square as opposed to the correct aspect ratio of the video that it's showing. Because now, a lot of times if you've got a widescreen camera and you've got 3 people on screen, 2 of them are off screen, even though they're actually on screen. It's rather, well, it's just frankly annoying. Looks like we passed over Mr. Garrity because he was away. But we'll jump back to Mr. Garrity while he takes a swig. How are you doing tonight, Joe?
I'm doing really, really well. Actually, I was just getting ready. My machine booted for no particular reason. I don't know what happened.
That seems to happen. So you want to? We'll save your introduction for when you're ready to have your segment. But everybody, this is the handsome, the lovely, the always honorable Joe Garrity. And last but not least, we have Sir Style Teckle.
Thank you, Joseph. As Joseph said, Sir Style Teckle of www.thecaverns.net. I do news and fandom projects for Shroud of the Avatar, and love these dragon meets. Also known as Teckle Dragon. And as an homage to the new release of Neon Milk, I have their little overlay up there too. So if you haven't checked that out, be sure to check out the Recap Band and check out the Neon Milk album. It's awesome.
Indeed it is. I listened to it at work today, twice. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Also in the background there, is that a Lord of the Manor feast menu?
It is. It is. Would you like me to grab that? It has an interesting menu on it.
Sure, I just want to make you get up. You look so comfy.
Oh, no problem.
Everybody watch Style get up. I'm going to make sure the camera stays focused on him.
See, he was kind enough to mute himself while he was doing all the shuffling.
But then I focus it on him.
Here we go. A Lord of the Manor feast menu.
Outstanding. So this one, it's important to note, was not my catering. This was I made the menu, but it was not my catering this time around. So how did it taste?
Well, I'm going to throw this out there. The food was very good. I really enjoyed it. My favorite was probably the baked apples for dessert with toasted almonds, honey cream on that. But having had your food at the Hobloth, not any disrespect to the food that I had at the Lord of the Manor meet, it was very good. But your food was definitely up a notch.
Well, thank you,
much better. Much better.
I appreciate that. Now, speaking of the Hobloth, I think one of the things that we need to talk about today is Hobloth 2. I have a tentative date that I think I can go ahead and share it with the world, but I don't have confirmation that the reservation is there yet. So I'm really, really hesitant to tell everybody to mark their calendars, but I'm pretty sure that you guys can all mark your calendars. But we'll get to that in a moment, because we have something... Sorry, Indy. There's a whole lot. Oh, is that your calendar? All right, she's ready to go. There's a whole lot that I want to talk about that. I think that can be its own segment today. But then, of course, we're taking suggestions for things to talk about today, since it is an open-ended topic. Looks like Joe is scrambling around back there. I'm not sure if he's ready to talk yet or not. Joe is giving us the thumbs up, which, of course, in some countries means sod off, so I'm going to assume that he means for us to go to hell. So, Joe, I'm going to pass it over to you, Joe Garrity, also known as Tastric Dragon. Joe Garrity definitely puts the ass in Tastric. He is the, I'm just kidding, he is the curator of the Origin Museum, and he's going to be digging into the stacks today to find all kinds of fun stuff to show us.
I love your introductions, Joseph, because I never get introduced anywhere, and when I do, it's only by you, and they're the worst introductions ever, and I do appreciate them.
Thank you. You're very welcome.
Asterisk? That's awesome.
Well, puts the trick in Tastric?
No, go back to ass. Wait, can you delete that part?
You know, I'm going to write that down for the quote book. Go back to ass. Hey, welcome, Adam. Golden Flame Dragon has arrived. Kenny G of the Avatar.
Hey, everyone.
Only when he shaves. So, Adam, there's something, I need a favor from you. So, when you shaved, obviously I had way too much fun with the Kenny G references. But can you, next time you shave, can you leave just a mustache first?
Oh, God.
So I can have a Yanni or two reference?
Now, I have never done just the stash.
You should do the whole giant gunslinger stash, the one that gets just all the way down. That would be amazing.
How about the stash and mutton chops, but nothing here? They're very.
I would enjoy seeing that. So welcome everybody. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'd say you just did, but since yours involved several references to both Yanni and Kenny G, maybe I should, reboot and start over. Hi, everyone. I'm Adam. I'm Golden Flame Dragon. I work some on the Ultima Codex, although not as much as I thought I was going to be able to when I first said, hey, I can do this. And I am working on Dark Unknown, although lately also not as much as I wanted to do for this time period. I've been being really social lately, and it feels really weird deep down in my heart, and I'm not sure how to handle it.
So what is that thing in the background that looks like a whole bunch of black fingers?
This?
Yes.
Right here? It's a chair. Just the back of the chair is just a bunch of spikes.
Uh-huh.
It seemed like a cool idea when I bought it. It turns out to be really top and back heavy, so it falls over at, the touch of a feather. So actually, I mostly use it as a surface and pile stuff on it. It's exactly like you were commenting because, it doesn't put me on the big screen when I'm the one talking. I'm only seeing my little square version and didn't realize it was in frame.
Right, exactly. This is why it's one of the reasons why it's very frustrating. It's like, what the crap are you talking about? People can sneak up on you.
Yes.
Alrighty, so.
But I was watching and I heard the words Hobloth 2 and I decided to click in.
Okay, fair enough. Well, you're gonna have to wait until after Treasures from the Origin Museum, so I'm gonna make you participate. So welcome. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you guys in a while. Like I said, it's been like 3 or 4 weeks since our last Rabble. But without further ado, I want to turn it over to Joe Garrity since he has given us a thumbs up and he's ready.
All right. How's everybody doing? Everybody having a good time?
Yay!
I had a horrible evening last night. I guess.
Yeah, how's the water damage down there?
Oh my gosh, it was darn close. Literally, you can probably see the plastic tubs behind me here. That's because this end of the room is like high ground. So I was grabbing everything that I could and piling them up. I just got done moving them back. I piled them up like higher than halfway up the bookcases. It was getting ridiculously crazy here. But thank God for a good shop vac. I probably scooped up over 100 gallons of water, and then pouring them down the drain in the other room was the hard part, picking up 20 gallons at a time and pouring them down. It was just ridiculous. So I didn't get any sleep, so I took the day off today so I could sleep. But the Northeast coast was just deluged. It was horrible. So as a result, I was talking to Joseph the other day, and I tell him, as I tell him every time, I don't have a Treasures from the Origin Museum today. And he says, oh, I'm sure you'll think of something. And he said, just open a tub at random. So I'm going to give you an idea of what it would be like if you guys actually came to the Origin Museum and I said, dig in. I put fun stuff up on the shelves and things like that, but I'm just going to grab random tubs and show people what the heck is going on here. So does that sound good? We're just going to go through random garbage?
You say garbage. I say
Awesome.
Exactly. I think this is exciting because it's like group archaeology here.
Some people call it junk. These, I call them treasures. Anyway. All right, so I'm gonna just pull the chair out and go through. I did pick a couple of things as I was throwing through, and Joseph was laughing at them. But there's one thing in particular that's very, very funny. This is weird. This is an 8.5. This is an 8x10 picture of Richard Garriott's brother, who usually did all the operations stuff. This is not Owen. This is Robert Garriott, and there he is at his Apple. What is that? A Lisa? No, that's a Mac. That's an original Mac. But I got a couple of those. I mean, it's on the other side too. I don't know why, but these are what's going on with the treasures.
So I'm gonna say this one time, and this will just let's say that this statement is going to be in parentheses wrapped around your entire presentation. Can I get a scan of that? Just
Sure.
passing through everything you find, because that's an awesome picture there.
Absolutely.
Also,
You already asked me for a scan of this. I haven't set it up yet, but I will.
Also, the Hearth of Britannia wants to welcome Lavacopter. Hi, Lava. Welcome to the Dragonsmeet. It's good to see you again, or hear from you again, since we never see you.
Hi. Yep. I have a little something prepared, hopefully, for later. So,
Outstanding.
good.
Cool. We can delay the Hobloth 2 notification even longer. All right.
You know what? I'm gonna,
All right. So back to Joe.
yeah. This is something that Joseph told me that I had to promise him that I would scan. Take a look at this. This is an advertisement for some type of party at Origin, probably around 1997.
Is that Chris Roberts on the left?
That's Chris Roberts on the left over here. That's Richard right there.
Oh my God, I couldn't even recognize that. That's oh.
Mr. Warren Spector is the construction worker.
That's great, Joe.
That's Mike Grajeda. He was a producer for a while. He was an EA guy. You know, but it's Do the Hustle for roller disco sometime out in the parking lot, which I just thought was hysterical. But I keep these things to try to keep the memories going. That's definitely, nobody's going to remember, nobody probably remembers the actual rollerblading disco party, but everybody will probably remember the ad. So, here's something else unusual. I may have shown this before, I don't know. This is actually an advertisement that was given away. This was a freebie given away by the James Combat Simulations team. Does everybody realize that James was actually a subsidiary of Origin? Origin actually made those games. You guys know?
You should sing Jane's theme.
No, I really shouldn't.
But all of the James flight simulation stuff were actually Origin products, and this was given out at one of the conventions. I don't know which convention it was, but it was basically like a whole logbook. That it has the actual Jane's pen in here that you would, you know, these are just giveaway things. But it's the Jane's pen. And a floppy disk of whatever was coming out that time. This looks like screenshots for Longbow. These were obviously for advertisers. And advertisements for the Jane's Flight Sims, along with a real Jane's Defense Newsweek. I mean, I don't know if anybody knows, but Jane's is actually a real organization that does military weaponry. And they actually use the Jane's name as a license to make the simulators. But...
Wait. So you're telling us that Richard Garriott is actually Tony Stark?
It's a possibility. You never know. But... weird products from Jane's, products and services, just weird stuff. Do you want to buy a military helicopter? They have it in here.
Stephen Donnelly is Tony Stark, obviously.
But oh yeah. But I just thought that was really cool that people who stopped by the booth in 1995, I found out what it was, would get one of those. Okay. I don't know, I gotta move the camera in order for people to see this. So here it is. This is the box. This is a box. One of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 laying right behind the table over here. But I just grabbed one. Let's see what kind of weird garbage we can find in here, okay?
You know, every time you say that, I'm just waiting for you to pull out like a banana peel or something.
But let's start off. Ultima Online, Lord Blackthorn's Revenge from the mind of Todd McFarlane. This was a giveaway CD. autographed by everybody on the staff, obviously. They're all fake autographs, they're printed. But, you know, Blackthorn's Revenge CD.
I've never seen that before.
A copy of PC Games from 1990, from June 2000, showing off Ultima Online 2. And I've kept it in plastic, and it's got the CD on the back and blah, blah, blah. Legends of Might and Magic. There's a big ad in the back there for all the Might and Magic fans. I don't know what that's worth. But, the Online Worlds Fan Fest. Oh, that was a collectible first edition beta CD of Ultima Online Blackthorn's Revenge. And I know that because I'm holding the sheet right here. That's why you've never seen it. It was only given away probably at the Online World Fan Fest. A whole sheet of NVIDIA graphics stickers. That's probably who was at the Online Fan Fest. Here's the Online World's Fan Fest voting ballot to vote for, I don't know, the costume contest or the Name a Monster contest. All of the Shard Hospitality stuff for the World's Fan Fest, which was in, I believe, 2001. Is that correct? Was it 2000 or 2001? I have no idea.
Anybody know?
No idea. Oh, for anybody who doesn't know, that was one of the very first fan get-togethers outside of Doom, outside of the Doom Fest. The first online fan fest was that one. But the Shadowcaster install guide, whatever that's doing, the Strike Commander playtester's guide. This stuff is all Sound Blaster 16 manual. If anybody needs this, I got it. More of them. I was wrong. Online Worlds Fan Fest, Austin, Texas, 2002. That's the brochure for it. And I don't see anything unusual in here. Nothing to really show. Session schedules, things like that. And it's really basic. You know? So, another one of those. Huh. Here's the actual printout of the eBay auction when I won the Mount Drash. And I keep that. I don't know why that ended up in here. But, like I said, most of this is garbage and junk and stuff. Here are some of the Recreate Worlds things that I believe I gave away at the Fan Fest. Ultima Online Renaissance. This is the brochure for it. For the second Ultima Online. Is any of this looking interesting at all?
Yes.
Very cool stuff.
I loved it.
Except for the Sound Blaster install guide. Everything else is awesome, though.
Want to create worlds? Visit the Human Resource booth at the Fan Fest. They were looking to hire people at Origin. I just thought that was nifty. More junk like that. I don't know what this is. Studio Voice. This is a magazine that was from the Origin archives that obviously has some kind of advertisement or article for Ultima or Ultima Online. Here you go, guys. But I never took the time to find out what was in it that was related to Origin yet. It's from Japan, I believe. But is that kanji, Joseph? Can you tell?
I can't quite focus.
Yeah, that's Japanese.
I can't. It's not clear enough for me to even see it. And
I'm sorry.
my answer, I just couldn't get it clear enough.
I was able to see hiragana and katakana in there. It's definitely Japanese.
There's obviously something related to Ultima or Wing Commander in here. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah. Now we can definitely see that part.
Yeah. Anyhow, more stuff. The Wing Commander movie. And that's what I think is so wonderful is that, on VHS, by the way. But The uniform that's being worn right here, you can see in the background right over there. That red uniform is the uniform that appears right here on this box. A random green floppy disk.
Is the Lost Veil on it?
Probably. Wouldn't that be like the biggest bite in the ass? I find it 20 years later, it's on here, and it's corrupt. That would kill me. These are more slides that I've shown to people. Oh! I got it set up. So there we go.
Yay!
Bazinga! Joseph recommended this. These slides now can be seen by people. I don't know if you can see that. That's BioForge. And there's a whole box of these things. So there's another BioForge, another BioForge. That's for Wing Commander 3, obviously. A bunch of those. But what else do we got? The Wing Commander 4 mouse pad, autographed by Chris Roberts. That's pretty cool.
Is that a real autograph this time or printed?
I think it's printed. I don't even think it's real. No, it is printed. You're right.
I want your trash, Joe.
More of the flyers where we create worlds. This is a whole pile of badges for different events. The Wild Wired Fest, E3, probably 1999. And they're all from David Swofford. I don't know why.
He's our PR guy.
That's right. This is the Jane's Security Pass to get into their stuff. Ooh. Did I give you one of these to give away, Joseph?
Indeed. I don't remember who got it, but it is sitting in... There's a box right down there behind me that says HOB Toto Rewards. It is sitting safely in that box.
Very cool. But this is just a bunch of those. Another magazine called Play Online, featuring Ultima 9. I guess that's circa 2000. I don't know. This is a little stand to advertise the game time cards for Ultima Online in Japan. So you can spend time with multiplayer online game. But
Is that like racist or something? Anyway.
no, I know.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Jesus.
You. Another Japanese magazine, Big Thick Monster.
Awesome.
Richard Garriott. Very cool.
That says Soft World Magazine Monthly.
It is? Oh, maybe because it's here.
Yeah, so that's the Chinese version.
Soft World Magazine Monthly. See, I never even realized.
Actually, no, hold on. Put it back up again.
I guess it is Chinese.
Maybe? Hold on. I do see some what looks like katakana. I don't know. Indy, what do you think?
Look at this. Look at this. He autographed the picture that they printed on there. It says to Soft Worlds.
No, it's definitely Chinese. The
The
stuff that
Soft
looks like
Magazine.
katakana is just simple kanji.
Yeah, it's like the little K looking thing. The ka. Yeah.
Well, that might help solve the debate as to whether or not Soft World was ever licensed or not.
Well, he wrote letters to them. He definitely autographed something for them.
Well, I saw a little no in there, which is definitely Japanese. So maybe there was a Japanese advertisement in it. I don't know. It does look Chinese to me, though.
Yeah, I did see some hiragana when they were flipping through the pages real quick. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Richard Garriott.
But see, like, there's no hiragana or katakana in that string at all.
Yeah, that's straight up complicated kanji
That's
looking
all
things.
kanji. Yeah.
Yeah. I should get my girlfriend over here to read this.
That would be cool.
Yeah, because I sure can't.
Anyhow, do I still have a couple of minutes, Joseph?
Of course.
The Play Online magazine. Now that is Japanese for sure.
Yeah.
And it's obviously advertising Ultima Online 2, which was never released. There is the plastic bag advertising the Ultima Online World's Fair. But I keep this stuff. I'm not 100% sure why. Chinese Strike Commander, this is Assault World, Joseph.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool. Hold on to that. Sealed Wing Commander Academy. Why? Because it's there. 2, not 1, but 2, Ultima Online, Lord Blackthorn's Revenge, autographed by Todd McFarlane. And those I know are real because the other one is written somewhere else.
The weirdest cover for Ultima Online of all of them.
That one also, that had me flummoxed for a long time. I'm not sure why they went there. I don't know what this is.
As a big comic book collector, that makes me very happy because I love me some Todd McFarlane.
Oh, really?
It made a lot of sense for UO2, but it made no sense for Ultima Online.
This is some kind of ad from Topps Publishing Company, like Topps as in, I believe, the baseball card company, where it looked like they were showing some kind of interest in marketing Wing Commander. Origin has permission to reproduce copies for internal use of the write-up on Mark Hamill appearing in the fall '94 issue of Star Wars Galaxy magazine. So this is the ad that they wanted to produce. And we all know Mark Hamill was famous for Wing Commander, as well as the voice of the Joker in the Batman cartoon. And then there was that weird, what was that movie that he was in? That big movie? Oh yeah, Corvette Summer. That's what it was. I thought that would get a laugh. I guess not.
I did laugh. I was muted.
Oh, okay. Empty flat rate box.
We're all too polite. We muted ourselves, and and you couldn't tell. You couldn't get an audience response.
Here's a copy of Bad Blood that's sealed. And if you act now, you not only get the lousy game Bad Blood, but you get a free copy of the lousy game Times of Lore. So
A $40 value.
I know, a $40 value. Another copy of Bad Blood. And this is the radioactive version with VGA graphics. So watch yourselves, kids. It's hot.
Radioactive version sounds like a precursor to Half-Life. But
Double checking to make sure these aren't wet. That's what I'm doing. Doing this, going, okay, they're not wet. This is the Origin Effects screensaver. Really, really hard to get. Only screensaver Origin ever put out. And it's only for Windows 3.1, so you can't see it on modern OSs. An original sealed copy of the original game, Wing Commander. And this is the 5 1/4 inch version, which is a little rarer than others. All right. 2 copies of Wing Commander 2. One is the original version, and the first time they ever coined the term, the interactive movie. But the other version is en français. This is a French copy from a distributor called Mindscape. And I love reading the back and comparing the two of them. It's pretty neat.
Mindscape handled all the European editions for the most part, right?
Correct. That's correct. And finally, the Art of the Future. This is the Electronic Arts privilege pass. And it quite literally is some kind of scan card that they must have used at like E3 or something like that, where you scan and you get to go in. But
Electronic Arts Privilege Pass. So is that like a get out of post-launch DLC free card?
I don't know. But like I said, there's 9 of these boxes behind this table over here, and they're all filled with that kind of stuff.
Put them on the table.
Put it on the table. Indeed. But that's all I got tonight. What do you guys think?
Yay!
These are being saved for Joseph.
Very cool, Joe. Thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you.
Treasures from the
Cool.
Origin Museum. Or Joe Garrity goes through random boxes.
Any questions?
What's on the disc?
I don't know. I don't even have a floppy drive available right now. All right, that goes in the place of honor tonight.
Someday I'm going to take a long vacation, come visit you, Joe, and just scan everything and copy all your discs.
Come over for a week. You're always welcome.
You know, that sounds kind of...
Sensual? Yeah, I felt that vibe too.
Yeah, I know. Say that again. Say, you know what? Call me later. Hush it to me on low tones over the phone.
I do the thing.
I'll scan all your things, baby.
God, I'm all hot and bothered now.
By the way, who is saying that?
It's me.
It's Seth. Hello. All right. Well, thanks everybody. I had a good time.
Yay! Thanks, Joe. I always have a good time visiting the Origin Museum. I hope to visit in person someday so I can scan everything too. We have our 10th spot has been filled up by none other than Amber Rain, the voice and the proprietor of Avatar's Radio. So welcome, Amber. In traditional Hearth of Britannia style, would you like to unmute and say hello and introduce yourself?
Okay, yeah, thank you for allowing me to sit in with you guys. I'm actually Rain Dragon. I've been a dragon since the 90s, actually, the late 90s, and only just recently found out about this, so it's awesome to be here.
Outstanding. Well, you are welcome, as is anybody. Remember, everybody's welcome at the Hearth of Britannia Dragons Meets. All you have to do is be interested in Ultima, be a huge fan of Ultima, be interested in Soda, be a fan of Soda, be a fan of Origin, be a fan of Richard Garriott's games, or simply not be a dick. Really, that's all it takes. Just be a nice person and you're welcome at the Hearth of Britannia. Interest in all the stuff that we've got behind me really helps, but it's actually not required. So it's good to have you, Amber Rain. I'm glad to see that you're here. So everybody, welcome Amber Rain's first appearance at the Hearth of Britannia. And
Welcome, Amber.
So that being said, transitioning away from Treasures from the Origin Museum, Lavacopter, who is the guru of clipped and unused content, has come to us and said that she may or may not have something to share with us that she has prepared. So I'm really, really excited to hear what that is. So, Lava, the floor is yours.
Oh, I hope so, because my connection's been terrible. I haven't been getting any video half the time. So let's hope screen share decides to work.
I blame Style. It's Style's fault.
Let's see.
I'll take it.
What?
He said he'll take it. He'll take the blame.
I'll take the blame.
Okay. You see anything there? There, good, good.
Yep.
Let's see. Alright. Starting up in cheat mode here, unsurprisingly.
Hiss, jive, manimal.
And let's see. I'm going to be showing a little bit of unused content here. I don't think I've ever seen anyone comment on. So I'm hitting the key here. And this is a menu that allows you to just run use code functions.
This is not a cheat menu that I'm familiar with at all. This is amazing. I'm already excited.
Nobody had actually figured out what this was for. I figured this one out. And, okay, I'm hitting 1. And I'm calling a specific index. Now, running index 1, 2, 8. What do you guys think of this thing?
It's that thing that that I remember reading about.
What the hell?
Isn't it start with a Y? It's not like Ural or you something?
Yeah, Uriel is from Silver Seed, but I don't think he ever said that.
Sort of.
Could that be a Kilrathi from the ship?
Okay. No, I don't think that's what this is supposed to be. Because this script correlates with Mad Iola's NPC number. So this doesn't seem to be attached to him in any way. His object code overrides it. And I suspect this is what he was supposed to say when you defeated him in Fawn. As for why it shows Ural's portrait, this is portrait 262, which is also Mariolo's NPC number. I suspect things were rearranged or the person who coded this made a mistake. So, yeah.
This is awesome.
Well, I wonder if they reused it when they implemented Silver Seed. I wonder what this command would have done without the Silver Seed add-on installed.
Yeah, if this was part of Claw Island or something.
Well, the thing is, they actually made a copy of this portrait for use in Silver Seed. They don't use this particular portrait. Okay, I will show you, well, sort of show you another one, which should help support my point a bit. Okay, this is 12. 12. Sorry, yes. 1287. Back branches. As far as why, this calls portrait 263, which doesn't exist. The game does not like that. Anyway, closing that. Ought to say, will it not let me share that? Well, anyway, ought to say, Avatar, when our paths cross once more, I shall chop thee into little pieces and feed them to the dogs. And this one corresponds with Anti-Dupree's NPC number. So there.
Totally bizarre.
That's my presentation. What'd you say?
It sounds like there was quite a bit of more violent dialogue than we got ultimately.
The whole possession storyline was cut so short. It's hard to say.
This needs to be a regular feature on the Harp. I love this.
I agree. This is really cool. How are you getting to that particular cheat menu? That's what I want to know, because I've never.
It's the tilde key.
I'll be damned.
Next to 1.
So you log in with cheat mode, and instead of hitting like F2, you hit tilde?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Very cool.
I want to check out the barks. Do you know if that works with Ultima 7 Blackgate as well?
No. That menu is not in Blackgate, unfortunately.
But there is a cheat menu in Blackgate.
Yes. Not that one. That's Serpent Isle only.
Well, I have something to have way too much fun with now.
Incredibly cool.
Okay, so I've got notes about that menu on the TCRF page, the cheat mode write-up. I'm guessing nobody's looked at it because I gotta know all about the cheat mode. Why would I bother reading that page?
Well,
What's the link for that?
You know, geez.
Type it in chat for us, and David Peters will do a screen share. Yes, David, I just volunteered you.
I'm sorry, this is not my usual browser. And also my connection being pants.
Yay! I'm excited.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be a fantastic feature to do a new cheat every week. Or a
Well,
new...
I'm afraid most of them aren't necessarily so interesting to look at.
But many of the people here, as well as out in viewerland, probably haven't seen these cheats before.
Well, I mean, not everything can actually be called in game. Some things aren't hooked up at all.
But I think it would be really cool to show everybody how to rob the bank and all that stuff.
Indeed, I think most people, when they use the cheat mode, they simply use the map teleport function in F3 and possibly power avatar. Most people don't even get into the hack mover or conjuring items in Ultima 7 that I know of. So any detail about what some of those extended functions do, I think would be really fun to do. I'm going to jump to David's screen here because he has your site pulled up here.
Oh, it's not my site. I'm just a contributor there.
Well, your contribution, I stand corrected.
Is it up? I can't see anything.
Indeed, David is scrolling the entire page for us. David, would you be a dear and copy that URL into a lower third and prominently display that at the bottom? I'll love you forever. More than I already do. David, you smell different when you're awake.
Shut up.
The business activity section intrigues me.
Hold on, I'm trying to right now. Why is it not up?
I want to make everyone dance.
Everybody dance. Yes, Adam just asked the question. That is the question. Golden Flame Dragon just asked, what is reserve dexterity anyway? I would love to know that.
Yeah, if anyone figures it out. There are some things I don't understand there, but I tried my best.
Is there a possibility we could get in touch with some of the developers that might be able to give us some insight in here?
Does anybody know any developers?
Well, I don't.
I know of a few that would be wonderful to talk about these things. I might be able to contact somebody.
That the URL is too long for me to actually display.
Well, you could just...
No, I think I need to actually...
document, David, and make it really big on your screen.
Fine, Jesus.
God.
Cool.
Sorry, David, it's
you.
I love you for your brain.
I know, hold on, let me get a word. Pad. There we go. Care. Bold.
We're still focused on your screen, so if you accidentally bring something up, it's your own fault. Yay! everybody, tcrf.net. That is where you guys need to go. Really, David?
What?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so everybody check out the cutting room floor. That's awesome. Thank you for showing that to us. That's awesome. As I agree wholeheartedly with Joe that regular submissions of that nature would be totally welcome. And everybody out there who's watching or watches this later, seriously, anything Ultima Origin related at all that it is totally relevant and you can totally come to Hearth of Britannia and share with us. Poetry, fan fiction, songs, art, you name it. If you guys wanted to do an Ultima-related interpretive dance, I would totally give you the floor for that. So definitely come here and share stuff like that. Lava gave a very, very good example of something that we'd never put out an explicit call for that was really, really fun. So thank you, Lava, for showing that to us, and we're definitely going to go check more of that out, and I'm going to play with the tilde menu.
Well, thank you for having me.
As always. Alrighty. So, it is 8:52 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Daylight Time being the dumbest thing that humanity has done since the invention of... Actually, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to get myself in trouble. Yeah, David, turn off screen share. We want to see your beard.
Oh, okay. No more dick butts.
Yay! Hey, there's one. All right. So the question is, before we transition to the Hobloth 2, is there anything else that anybody wants to put on the table? Wow, look at that resounding silence.
Actually, I don't mind throwing something out there.
Okay.
I just wanted to toss out, for those who don't know it, Lord Baldrith. For those who've seen him on the forums, he's a very, very active forum member and user of Shroud of the Avatar. Is doing podcasts for fan fiction, poetry. He also is doing a weekly news recap. He has a fantastic voice. He's working on some of his voice acting stuff as well. And actually, I have a song from him in my inbox I still have to listen to. He's given me the honor of publishing those, and I have a podcast server set up for that. So if you're interested at all in either listening to those or having him read anything, drop by the website, drop me a note, what have you, and check it out. He's really doing a fantastic job, and I want to keep him inspired by getting him more work.
That's outstanding. That's Lord Baldrith?
Yeah, Lord Baldrith. If you go to www.thecaverns.net, on the top of my menu is a option for podcasts, and if you click that, it opens a sub-site I have set up, which has a link you can put in any podcast software you're using. You can also pull it up on iTunes. It's searchable under Echoes of the Caverns. And then anything anyone wants read, whether it's fan fiction, poetry, or like I said, he's even doing some news bits. Yeah, screen share. There you go. Just shoot it to me at style@thecaverns.net, and I will forward that on to Lord Baldrith. He'll record it at some point in time, and we'll get it published and out there for you.
Cool, David. We totally just saw your team speak.
Don't worry, I got myself completely
sharing
muted
that.
on the AFK channel.
So that being said, we do have Amber Rain here. Amber Rain, it would be really awesome if you were to plug Avatar's radio. I mean, I could totally do it for you, but I think we'd rather hear it from you since it is your baby and it is awesome. If Amber is indeed still with us.
Bum, bum, bum.
Well, I suppose not. So those of you that don't know, Avatar's Radio is avatarsradio.com, and what this is a streaming radio station for fans of Shroud of the Avatar and Ultima. It's really, really great. Amber gets on there and does, she DJs and introduces tracks and does does requests for people. I'm going to jump to David because he's screen sharing here. And it's really, really great. They play a whole fun mix of music, 80s, country, rock, metal, electronic, I mean, you name it. And then they have guest DJs. Community manager for Shroud of the Avatar, Fire Lotus, she came and guest DJ'd last Friday and set a station listening record. And so that was during Release 5. So people actually went to Fire Lotus Tavern in the game, danced around in the rafters, listened to Avatar's radio, put in requests while Fire Lotus DJ'd and narrated and played tracks. It was really, really awesome. And one of my favorite things about Avatar's radio is they have their own chat room. So if you go to the Shroud of the Avatar chat room, which is hosted by Ultima Codex, if you /join #Avatars Radio, you'll log into the Avatars Radio chat, which is just a group of wonderful, wonderful people. Anytime I'm listening to Avatars Radio, I like to log into there just because that's where you can put in requests for music, and that's where you can talk to people, and it's really, 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 really fun. Everybody in the Avatars Radio room is really chill. It's just a great time. And, of course, they play a bunch of 80s music, so I'm kind of partial to that, so I'm a really big fan of Avatars Radio. And then occasionally we'll go on, we'll just really organically, based on chat conversations, start going on sprees, which I think is really fun because, if you listen to public radio, and I don't mean like NPR, I mean if you listen to regular radio over the station has an agenda, and they have songs that they're paid to play, and they have to play so many times, and they have a schedule. If you go to the chat room for Avatars Radio, you get to take part in the organic discussion which leads to what ultimately plays on the radio. So sometimes someone will request something that's happened the other day was somebody requested a song with a great sax riff. So someone's like, oh, that's a song with a great sax riff. This is a song with a great sax riff too. And then it turned into sax riff awesomeness, badassery for an hour. And you get these awesome organic streaks of songs, and you usually get a personal call out anytime you request a song, and it's just a really, really, really fun time. So Avatars Radio, if you haven't checked it out, it's great. The best thing about the radio is it keeps you from feeling lonely in the middle of the night because it's real people playing real music that you're not choosing, and there's a chat room for them to keep you company. So Shroud of the Avatar and Ultima fans, definitely check out Avatars Radio. And Amber, I think you're back, so if you have anything you want to say about Avatars Radio, the floor is absolutely yours.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I actually had to step away for a moment, and I just got to hear what you were saying about it, and you're absolutely right. That is actually what the radio is created for. Community station for the community, by the community, to help us all feel like we're home, where we want to be, instead of out and separate people. We're all together. We believe in playing community submissions. We've got Lord Baldrith doing a podcast show. We, as Joseph just said, as Rustic Dragon just said, sorry.
Either's fine. As long as it's not Joe, I'm happy.
We take from what you guys want to hear, and we play that. Like the saxophone totally had it was 2 hours of it, just absolutely nothing but songs that were sax, and it was great. So yeah, join us. You can find us in IRC # Avatars Radio. Everyone's welcome.
Yay! Yeah, what's cool is you can if you have written music for Shroud of the Avatar, if you've written music inspired by Ultima, they'll play it. Additionally, if you want to do like a commercial bumper, advertising Avatars Radio, they'll do it. I'm working on one right now. I'll give you the gist of it. Want to party? Sure. Avatars Radio. So little Ultima 9 silliness there. So I'm working on getting that one put together. I'm debating. So that's the nice version. The less nice version is want to party? Sure. You're listening to Avatars Radio. What's a paladin?
I was just going to say, as long as you don't say what's a paladin, I will play it.
I'm not saying it. I'm just putting the sound quote in. So I'm technically not saying it. But I'm grabbing, I want to grab the actual sounds from the game, which is why it's taking me a while to get it, because I don't have it installed on my laptop.
That's
But
actually something that's always brought up in room 2, is if you say, "What's a paladin?" I will smack you with a chaos spoon.
ooh, oh, tell us about the Chaos Spoon. For those watching who are not familiar with the Chaos Spoon, what is this mighty weapon, and why do you wield it with such wild prejudice?
Okay, well, really, the Chaos Spoon is something that's really special to me, and I have been known to use it for a long time. Most people will relate it to something that they see on YouTube, which is this person that goes around hitting people with a spoon. It's not that. I actually got the idea from Bill Engvall, who says, "Here's your sign," and the Chaos Spoon is for people who actually do something really stupid, and you want to say, "Here's your sign," and you say, "Here's your spoon," you smack them with it, right? Just knock some sense into them, kind of thing.
I see. Well,
And it's pretty chaotic.
there it is. It is your personal band boffer hammer.
Basically, yep, it's my hammer. Yep.
Indeed. So, Golden Flame mentions that Cranberry, Galara Dragon says hello. So, hello, Galara, out there. We are saying hi. That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever said. Okay, so does anybody else have anything that they want to throw in before we jump to the next topic? Floor is yours.
Although I'm dying to hear about Hobloth, Will had something real quick that he wanted to share.
Yay! What do you got?
We are going to be making an avatar costume for cosplay, and the only thing I've made so far for it is my Hoe of Destruction.
Oh my God, that's so awesome!
Perfect.
I'm in talks with
Very
a
cool.
guy who has already 3D modeled the Blackrock sword. I'm going to try to get that printed and painted, and then we're also getting the chainmail armor made.
God, I cannot wait to see how your Blackrock sword comes out. I've been wanting to make one for a very, very long time, and it's just one of those things on the to-do list.
Well, hopefully it'll work out. I mean, as long as I can get someone to 3D print it with a good length. This guy has already modeled it. I did a search and found his modeled Blackrock sword and was like, hey, if I can get somebody to 3D print this, can I? And he was like, go for it. And I got a buddy who just loves to paint Warhammer models. I said, hey, if I give you a plastic sword, can you paint it, make it look all real? And he was like, sure, man, no problem.
So let's talk about that, because one of the things that I wanted to do with the one that I was going to make mine out of cast resin. But something that I really wanted to do, I have a printing company that I get wholesale printing through, and they can make lenticular prints, which are the things, where you look at them at different angles and the image changes and you run your finger over it, it goes. I was going to get Arcadian visible from one angle but not visible from another angle, so I could stick it behind a gem on the sword. So we can totally do that together if you want to make some really awesome versions of the Blackrock sword.
We will discuss this at a later date, because I am all for that.
Sweet. This is going to be awesome. Your hoe looks quite mighty.
Thank you. It's actually the shaft. I don't know if you saw. It had like that weird wavy pattern.
Yeah.
Shaft. But that came off a broom I bought years ago. And I walked out my front door, walked across the street to an antique store, said, I need an antique hoe head. And they had a barrel of them. And I just picked the best one for $3, sanded it, wire brushed it down and painted it, and Bob's your uncle.
Voila.
That is so freaking cool. Outstanding. I'm excited. So are you doing Ultima 6 era costume?
I wanted to. My model is the cover or the box art for Ultima 6, but I have the Hoe of Destruction. I don't know if you saw it had an eye hook on the top. That's so I can put a strap on it to wear on my back. And then no helmet, maybe a shield. And I'm going to do green leather boots for swamp boots.
Nice.
Instead. And I was thinking about getting gold chainmail gloves for was it the Quick gloves? It was something you got, I think, in Serpent Isle.
Yeah, gloves of Kira's the Quick.
Yeah, they were like a gold chainmail. So, other than that,
I can make gold chainmail.
yeah. And just the white tabard with the big gold ankh.
This is outstanding. I cannot wait to see this when it's done. I can't wait.
It'll probably take about a year just for budget restraints. But.
Yeah, I understand. I take pictures the whole way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that I've kind of wanted to do for a long time and never really tried, so that's really cool. I really want to see that.
Well, we figured since pretty much our job is going to conventions now, we're around cosplayers every week. So might as well make a suit that'll catch attention and drive people towards our booth and show stuff that I loved and grew up on. Win-win.
You can walk around asking people what a gargoyle is.
Yeah.
That is outstanding. I'll have to make a random Britannian peasant costume with a sign that says, "Keep Britannia clean, send the gargoyles back." It'd be outstanding. I love it. Well, I am in love with your hoe. That is, the handle on that is just gorgeous. I'm jealous. Joe Garrity is not supportive of my love of hoes. What's wrong, Joe? You know, the Flanders friend is an Ultima item.
Your hoe is quite beautiful.
It's a very nice hoe. Although the discoloration on the handle might be from the disease it has. You might want to get that looked at.
That's terrible.
There it is.
Terrible.
Joe's near face palming again. Alrighty. So, any other announcements, questions, thoughts, topics, concerns, beards?
I got something. I think I might be the first fan to have code in Shot of the Avatar.
Ooh. Do you want to explain what it is?
Do tell.
In the last release, there was a /SodaWiki command. If you type /SodaWiki and then something, it will then open up a web browser to the wiki.
Yay!
How the hell did I not know about that?
You're not in the loop, Joseph. You got to get in the loop.
Sorry. Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations. That's really cool.
Violation actually showed that to me.
Yeah, he showed
It's
me
awesome.
he showed me a screenshot of him using it, and you were there. Yeah, it was really cool. I didn't get to play much at all last release, but I was really happy that that was in there.
So speaking of Release 5, Kenneth pointed out recently that you can go to the Hearth of Britannia now in-game. The Hearth of Britannia is in Kingsport, and what's really exciting about that is the sign hanging outside of the Hearth of Britannia is the only case in Shroud of the Avatar where Old Britannian runes are used. So I'm very, 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 very happy about that because I love me some Old Britannian runes, and Amber is also familiar with another asset that that I have in the game. I'll let Amber talk about that if she wants to, or perhaps David's going to talk about that. Amber suggested having a party at the Hearth in R6, and I'm totally fine with that. There's a basement in the Hearth of Britannia, which is like a 5-story basement under the Hearth in Kingsport, and I definitely think we should all party in the basement of the Hearth because the basement's pretty cool. Indeed, it has been dubbed Lunch Rock. But, all right. Well, congratulations, Seth. That's awesome. I'm going to check that out. I'm assuming that it'll probably work on my dev client, so I'm going to check that out at work tomorrow.
Yeah, it should. And make sure to thank One and Only for helping me get that in there.
I thank him every day for keeping the project from falling apart. No, kidding. No, One and Only is awesome. For those of you who don't know, that's Justin at Portalarium. He's really great. He's really accessible. He's really, really good at what he does, and he's super chill. I don't think I've ever heard him talk louder than really quietly. So he's just really awesome. He's nice. Any other announcements, questions, topics, concerns, or beards?
We can have concerns and topics after the announcement? Because
No,
it'll be
it
a
has to
long.
be now.
Really? Seriously?
I just love pushing this back.
Ah, goddamn! No, I mean, no. This is gonna be a big one.
Go for it. Are you getting married?
No. It's about the possible pushback of the October release, people's thoughts about the graphical overhaul, the Chris's Uber Mecha long post, which Chris's posts for the releases after each release are the ones I actually enjoy the most because he goes into such detail about all the issues that were going on, or things that were going on in the background, and how the fact that, what was it, like 2 days prior to the release, everything was broken and they somehow got everything back up, or something to that nature. So yeah,
I mean, that's the nature of development. When
Yeah,
you're working on a project, you can break it,
yeah,
and it could take a while to fix. So it's entirely possible that in the middle of a release, it can break or it can be fixed. That happens. Um, but yeah, let me focus myself. For some reason, I'm not focused.
yeah, it's gonna be that kind of a topic.
So that's a long topic there.
That is gonna be a big topic.
Yay! All right, I'm in focus. All right, that is a big topic. So before we talk about that, I think we should talk about the thing that I've been delaying that everybody wants to hear. All right, so approximately half a year ago, the Hearth of Britannia opened up the doors back when it was still located in Indianapolis. It opened the doors to anybody in the Shroud of the Avatar community, anybody in the Ultimate community, anybody in the Origin community. The only stipulation was I had to know who you were, or you had to be a friend of someone I knew. And that didn't necessarily mean that I needed to have met you in person. I just needed to have met you through the Hearth of Britannia or had a good chat with you online. Generally gotten some indication that you are a decent person. Like I said earlier, the only rules for attendance at a Hearth of Britannia Dragonsmeet is that you're not a dick. So I just needed some indication that you were a decent person. And, then you were totally welcome. And Hearth of Britannia opened its doors for the Lords of the Hearth, which was a 1-to-1. Actually, it ended up being a lot more than 1-to-1 because there was a lot more food than there was actually in New York, but it was a 1-to-1 creation of the meal that the Hearth of Britannia prepared for the first Lord of the Manor event at Britannia Manor 4 in Manhattan at Richard's Mansion. So it was basically, whereas to attend Richard's feast, you, of course, must be a Lord of the Manor, which I like to call community engagement from the top down. The Hearth of Britannia Lords of the Hearth was anybody's welcome. You just got to get to the place. But I like to call that community engagement from the ground up, because you didn't have to you didn't even have to pledge to get there, although donations are always accepted. But that had a wonderful, wonderful turnout. I had my house opened up. I had every room open to the public. Between the upstairs and the downstairs and the bedroom and the garage and the outside, it was absolutely the right size of square footage for the amount of people that was there. And it was, I think there ended up being 30 people at the Hobloth, and it ended up being really, really, really fun and really outstanding. Nobody got in fights. Nobody barfed. Nobody, yeah, there was a broken glass or two. And I remember
the same stand that everybody bumped into.
It's true, yeah.
Yes.
And I've moved since then, but I know not to put that there anymore. But it was really funny. The College of Arms, the head of the College of Arms, Adiyun Tesserand, broke a glass, and he felt absolutely miserable about it. And I was like, dude, most parties that I have with less people than this, there's like 6 glasses that get broken. So if one glass breaks, that's like a record. So I totally wanted to absolve him of that guilt, and I think Indian William just held up the glass that they had. Oh, and Browncoat's holding up his glass now. So about those glasses that you guys see, they're these monster glasses. They hold like 730 some odd milliliters, huge glasses. I wanted to get appropriate glasses for people. I wanted to have enough glassware for everybody at the party. And I went to the local dollar store, and they had those for $1. And I was like, this is great. These are $1. So I bought every single one they had, and everybody got to take one home. Well, at least most everybody. So that was really exciting. But that was November, I believe, 15th or 16th of last year. It was pretty much the whole weekend. And now that I live in Austin, it's officially time to start planning for the Hobloth 2. And I, while calling it Lord of the Hearth doesn't really, make as much sense now since it's not exactly trying to emulate the Lords of the Manor Dinner, I just really like saying Hobloth. So it's like you can use it like a Hoblothian, you can use it like an adjective or something. So we're going to stick with the term Hobloth because I really like saying it. And the tentative date, I can't, don't lawyer me, bro. Don't hold me to this just yet. I'm awaiting confirmation, but I'm pretty sure that this date is going to be just fine. It is going to be, looking at my calendar here, it is going to be exactly 1 year from Hobloth 1. It will be the weekend of November 15th and 16th here in Austin. And I have gotten permission from Lord British himself to have the Hobloth 2 on his property at Castleton. And the reason that's exciting is Castleton is a little medieval village that Richard has set up with a scale model of the Globe Theater. So there's all kinds of fun stuff that we can do that's in the planning. It's like, why not have a play on the stage where we say name, job, and buy? And why not have costumes and ridiculousness? And of course, just like the Hobloth 1, costumes are required, ridiculousness is encouraged, there will be boffers, there will be food, there will be beer, there will be much rejoicing. There's lots of stuff that's in the planning stage right now. If you David is excited because he's going to get to fight Adam again. What's really, really cool about having it at Richard's property is, whereas we had it in my house last time, and my house managed to accommodate everybody just barely, the great thing about having it at Richard's property is we can just set up tents. And so we'll be camping out there, overnight, and we can have most likely a bonfire, and we can hit up Richard's geocache, and we can do all kinds of fun stuff. I've got a lot of ideas that I'm not going to share with you just yet, but it's going to be a really, really great time, and it's going to be even better than the first Hobloth because it's going to be infinitely more authentic. Let's see what else. Now here's something really, really, really fun. This just happened today on Facebook. I have an obsession with milkshakes and ice cream. It's a problem, and one of the things that I really like is milkshakes. And Amy's Ice Cream is an Austin and Houston, San Antonio treat that you can only get here. And what's really, really great about Amy's Ice Cream is it's the second best milkshake that I've ever had in my life, and they will sell 3-gallon octopacks. They call them octopacks because they're in octagonal containers. I wish they had like legs. But you can buy a 3-gallon octopack of ice cream. And so I bought a 3-gallon octopack, and I'm going to be getting that Saturday. I can't wait. I'm going to get so fat. They have, I think, over 100 different flavors of ice cream, and they will do custom flavors of ice cream with a consultation. One of the things that did not happen at Hobloth 1, I did not make a batch of Silverleaf. I have a recipe for Silverleaf. I served Silverleaf in New York at the Lords of the Manor event. I think, or at least I'm going to try really hard, there's no reason why you could not recreate the flavors that I used for my Silverleaf recipe in Hearth of Britannia as ice cream. So I am going to try very, very hard to have a consultation with Amy's Ice Cream to have gallons of Silverleaf flavored ice cream at Hobloth 2. Because to me, that sounds like the coolest goddamn thing in the entire world. So we can have Silverleaf milkshakes and Silverleaf ice cream and Silverleaf ice cream sandwiches and yeah. So I'm really, 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 really excited about that. As to how invitations are going to work and how RSVPs are going to work, that's all still being decided because I don't know what the maximum occupancy of the property is yet and what the rules are going to be. But as soon as I find that out, formal language will appear at hearthofbritannia.com and, of course, facebook.com/hearthofbritannia. There'll be information and all that stuff there. And if you have ideas for events, for guests, for speakers, for fun stuff, rusticdragon@gmail.com. I'm always open to that. I'm not promising anything, but it's entirely possible that some people that you really want to see are going to be at this party, since it's going to be a little easier for them to stop by in Austin than it was to go to Indianapolis. So again, I'm not promising anything, and I'm not roping anybody into going, but I think if we offer YOLO food, I'm pretty sure he'd be willing to show up. I don't see why he couldn't set up, an archery booth or play for us, have all kinds of fun stuff. He just seems like a really chill guy, provided he doesn't have something going on that weekend. Of course, I'm definitely going to invite Penumbra, who also lives in Austin. So those of you that have played Ultima 6 and 7 and Runes of Virtue, you know Mysterious Penumbra. She can tell your fortune, and also she is really, really nice and really, really fun. She is, as Dr. Cat loves to say, she is one of the most creative and nicest people he's ever met, and I agree. She's just really, really, really fun to talk to. She's really, really intelligent, and she's fiercely creative. So you can meet Penumbra, and perhaps if you give her enough coins, she can read your fortune. And gosh, who else do we have here? Gosh, what else do we got going on? And I've got a whole book of ideas for things that I want to do out of Richard's property, but I am not going to tell you that just yet. But that being said, can I get a tentative show of hands as who's going to try to be there this year? Well, that's everybody. That literally is everybody in the Hangout whose video that I can see. That's and Lavacopter says in chat, no. So that's outstanding. So Brown Cove, that's something interesting. I'm actually going on vacation in a couple weeks. May 24th is my high school graduation, and I have gone to every high school graduation since 2000. It is what I do. It is a tradition. I always go, and tickets to go to that, plane tickets right now are about $400, and I would also need to rent a car and all that fun stuff. And it's actually, believe it or not, cheaper to rent a car in Austin and drive it there and back than it is to fly. So I'm going to be driving the whole way on my vacation and stopping to see as many people as I can, if possible. So if you feel like driving, it might be cheaper than your plane tickets. But yeah, you guys could totally rent a van and carpool and all kinds of fun stuff.
That'd be better. I can't drive 13 hours again.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I'll drive 24 hours and just be like, this is fun. But you guys obviously know that I'm a sucker for endurance events, and I love that kind of stuff. So Amber Rain says that if she can convince the USA-Canada border to remove the border, she'll be here. Is there a reason? Is there something preventing you from coming to the United States, Amber? What's up with that?
Oh.
Well, that's
something yeah.
Let's have a moment of silence for Amber's dead cat. No, I'm just totally kidding. That's a valid reason not to cross the border. We will do what we can to try to get those borders moved. I suggest going to Mexico first and coming from there and pretending that you're not Canadian. So that being said, Lava, what's your reason? Hijack a moose. Actually, not what's your reason for not going. I'm actually curious, Lava, where are you located regionally?
West Virginia.
Oh man, see, someone could totally pick you up. That could work. We could do that.
I
Peer
don't
pressure.
know. I'm not much of a party person.
So that's an interesting thing. When somebody says party, it's got kind of a certain mental image or connotation to it. Those of you who were at the Hobloth, which is everybody here except Seth and Joe, and of course the two people whose video we cannot see, would you describe the Hobloth as a party?
I was downstairs playing a board game with Tracy Hickman.
So was I.
Yeah,
But drinking heavily while we were doing it.
not that bad. And he was telling us the first chapters of the Blade of the Avatar, and we were beating the hell out of each other outside with foam bats, but that was optional. You didn't have to join in. And we had a crap
More
load
like-
of food, and we were talking about who we hated on the forums. So that was fun.
From everything I've heard, it sounds
We do
more like
that on
just
Facebook.
general hanging out as opposed to like party.
I mean, we're not. None of us were probably the cool kids in school.
There was not crazy heavy drinking and debauchery and yelling and fighting and punching and screaming and barfing and all those terrible things that make parties terrible. There was no dancing and stuff like that.
There
Well,
was a
that-
lot of farting. There was a lot of farting.
Well, and Joseph kept trying to get us to do the crate gallon, whatever that is.
The case gallon race?
Everybody was smart enough to say no.
I wasn't really going to do a case gallon race.
And of course, Hobloth 2 sounds more like it's going to be a Renfest.
Indeed. See, that's very much what the Hobloth 2 is going to be. So it's really fun. An interesting conceptual idea for the Hobloth 2. And this, I think, was Joe Garrity's idea. And if I'm falsely giving you credit, Joe, I'm sorry. And if it was someone else's idea, then I'm also sorry, and whatever. But a really fun idea is Richard's property at Castleton has cabins. And if anybody has seen the pictures that I posted on Facebook of the recent Easter event, you got to see the different cabins. We all, each employee or couple, we picked a cabin on the property and we decorated it up and themed it for the Easter party, the Portalarium Easter party. And what could be really, really fun is to section off. Oh, Browncoat's taken off. Okay, have fun with the kids. To section off the property at Castleton into lots. So put a fence around each cabin and just little stakes with string, and then section off plots for tents, and then have people claim them Shroud of the Avatar style based on what your backer title is.
That's
So
awesome. I wish I'd have thought of that, but it wasn't me.
So Lords of the Manor can get the fort, and the waterfront property is a pirate ship, and the various cabins that you have around there can go to citizens, and anybody else can get a tent plot, and everybody else has to sleep in the lake. No, I'm kidding. But that could be a really fun thing to do. Or, of course, I'm not going to make, just be very explicit here, I'm not going to make anybody pay, be required to spend money or anything. It's all in jest. We could draw straws to see who gets first claim or something silly like that. But the idea of that is kind of funny. So yeah, that could be kind of fun. But I've got, like I said, I've got a whole bunch of ideas for Hobloth 2 and how to make that fun. I've got some musical guests that I'd really like to have there. I'd actually like to try to have a little bit more structure to this one. If you recall, for Hobloth 1, I was supposed to have about a month to prep for it. And there was a lot of structure advertised that ended up not happening. Ultimately, I ended up having a week to prep for it instead of a month. So a lot of that structure kind of got lost. Is my screen frozen? I was told my screen is frozen. Can you see me now?
No, you gotta have this face.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
All right, let me kill my camera, turn it back on. Better? Anything?
Nothing at all now.
Well, poo. I don't know what to tell you about that. But as long as you can hear me, that's good. So that being said, given that the planning for this one is officially starting in May, we should be able to have a lot more structure and a lot more fun things planned in terms of like at this time this is going to happen. Maybe even breakout sessions or something like that. So hopefully it'll be a little more eventy and a little less free-for-all-y. But I still hope that what I'm really hoping for is kind of like if you've ever been to a camping SCA or Amped Guard event where there's structure during the day and then at night it turns into a social free-for-all. So fun stuff like that. I'm hoping that we all cook around a fire and play songs on instruments and sing and dance, and we can get a pole installed for David. There's just all kinds of fun stuff that we can do. David unmutes and decides not to say anything.
Unmute, wink, and then just decided probably I shouldn't say anything.
Just in case, so we could hear that wink. So, does anybody have any questions, thoughts, concerns, excitements, beards?
We have a plethora of excitements and a beard, a mighty beard.
And a glorious stash. That is a beautiful stash.
And quite the hoe. All right, so Joe Garrity mentioned after last year's Hobloth that come hell or high water, which he's currently experiencing high water, that he will do what he can to. He will definitely make the next one. So
I'm going.
looking forward to that.
I'm totally going.
All right. And Seth, were you going to say something?
My only concern is that you get a schedule to me early enough for me to buy plane tickets.
It's too early to buy plane tickets? Is that what you said?
I just want some sort of schedule and perhaps a lockdown on the day before I actually buy the plane tickets.
So that's fair. Like I said, I'm waiting for confirmation right now. As soon as I get that and get all the details, I will try to lock that down as much as possible.
And then, whether or not things are starting on Friday or how late on Saturday things get going or whatever.
Sure. The main event will most likely be on Saturday. There will be stuff on Friday, I'm guessing. This is all tentative and subject to change. I will most likely be taking the week off beforehand to prep. So I get a certain amount of vacation, and I'm using pretty much half of it this month, and the other half of it's going to be before the Hobloth. So I'm going to make sure to do that. Anybody who wants to come early and help prep, it's much appreciated. If you want to, take vacation time to help prep, that sounds exciting, right? But there will be definitely things to do on Friday. Definitely fun to be had. But most of the stuff will probably take place on Saturday and Sunday. But really, Saturday night is as I'm thinking, is going to be the time that you want to be there.
What if it rains?
Then we get wet.
Thank you. I hate wet.
Don't bring the museum. You can bring parts of it, but in waterproof tubs.
Virginia, Austin, it's all going to get wet anyway.
Well, Style, what you can do is start saving $20 a week.
We'll see how it goes.
Man, the lag today in here is terrible. Everybody's lagging, and apparently my video was cutting out earlier. I wonder what people are seeing who are watching out in YouTube land right now. So this is really, really exciting. Mostly because the Hobloth turned out just tenfold better than I ever could have imagined, and the scope of Hobloth 2 is even bigger, and I'm really hoping that this can turn out just as well. But yeah, suggestions, questions, and all that fun stuff, direct them to rusticdragon@gmail.com, and I'll answer them if I can. Some things I won't answer because it's going to be a secret. But yeah, I hope to see you guys there. So what is this? May, June, July, August, September, October, in 6 months, 7 months. Hope to see you in 7 months. Half a year away. That's plenty of time to save. I look forward to that. Any other questions, comments, concerns, fish heads, beards? Chloe's? It's so quiet in here tonight.
I'm waiting for the big rabble.
All right. David, since you are waiting for the big rabble, I turn the floor officially over to you for the big rabble.
I mean, has anybody read any of the notes Chris has posted or seen anything from Star Long about the potential push?
Chris who?
Chris Spears? Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant Chris Schneider.
No. Chris Spears.
Oh.
Right. Yeah, about the potential pushback, the update in the graphics going from. I forgot
Hold
what
on,
type of
Joe's taking off. Thanks, Joe. Origin
later, Joe.
Awesome today.
Bye, Joe.
Sorry. See you later, guys. Apologize. See ya.
He doesn't like my rabbles.
Bye.
But yeah, about the potential pushback, how does everybody feel? I mean, I just want a general idea of how everybody's taking it.
Woo!
I'm perfectly fine with them pushing it back as long as they have the funds to keep working on the game.
Yeah, pushback's good.
Yeah.
I'm personally really happy that they're thinking about doing that. That means that they're going to put out quality, not quantity.
Exactly.
There is one thing that's always been bugging me is when they actually set a release date. Maybe one day they might just make it a surprise. Like, we're going to push back until it's ready, then all of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, here it is. At one point.
Take the stress off of them for having to get it out.
Exactly. I would much rather shoot for that. Granted, like, what was the release date for Star Citizen originally? Wasn't it not supposed to be like a 2 or 3 year game cycle? Wasn't it supposed to be a lot shorter than that?
Well, hold on just 1 second, David. Lava Copter's going to take off, so thanks for joining us, Lava. It's always good to have you here, and don't forget that you're welcome every time, and your presentation was really fun, quality stuff, so definitely bring more of that if you got it.
Yep, we want more secrets.
Thank you. I'll try and see if I can cook something else up. Well, see you next time, hopefully.
Have a good one.
You too.
Yay. All right, sorry, David, I did not mean to derail you there, but I like to make sure that people are acknowledged when they come and go.
Understandable. Granted, they seem to be leaving me in my rabble, so I don't feel like I should talk anymore.
No, go ahead. I've got to go and I got to get something anyway. Keep talking, David.
I hate you all. Drayson, thank God.
Welcome,
All right,
Mr.
you come in
Drayson.
here.
Yay!
Yay, Drayson.
I just sat down
Good. Now,
and just put my pants on.
does anybody even want to discuss that topic, or is that just a dead topic?
Grayson's pants?
No.
I don't think we want to discuss his pants.
No, we want to discuss his pants.
Elastic.
Discuss.
I don't want to discuss Tracy's.
What I want to know is why is it even on?
My
Okay.
pants?
Anyway, so
That's true.
all right. So pushing it back. Of course, long before I was an employee of Portalarium, I had said, and you can surf the the archives here. Looking behind me, you've got a whole bunch of different stuff. We've got well, up
We
there.
still can't see you, Joseph.
Yeah, we still can't see you.
Yeah, we can't see you.
I don't know what to do about that. I can't see. The thing is, I can't tell if you can see me or not.
And no, we can't at all. Like,
And
I'm
I don't
looking
know
at.
if people on YouTube can see me or not.
No, I'm double checking YouTube right now.
Well, piss shits.
Yep.
I just don't know what to do about that. Tell me when you can see me. I'm going to keep turning my camera on and off and hoping that it fixes it. Anybody?
I see a pulsating bag.
A pulsating...
An image of a pulsating UO bag.
It's a bag of runes from Ultimus. It's a bag of reagents. Oh gosh. So no one can see me.
Nope.
This is frustrating and obnoxious.
I mean, you want to try restarting it? I mean, the Hangout stays up, so you know that. Yeah, you know that.
Yeah, but I don't. Given how how everybody's lagging, I'm thinking it might be a Google connection issue.
Have you tried turning it on and off again?
I guess I could do that.
You know where the power button is.
Sure, I'll refresh the browser and see what happens. I'll be right back.
We are not quoting The Office. We're quoting.
I was quoting The Office. What were you quoting?
IT Crowd.
That's totally what I meant. We were quoting the IT Crowd.
Which apparently has new seasons.
Oh no, I'm so excited.
Hey,
Well,
there's
now we
Joseph.
can see
Hey,
Joseph.
we can see him now.
Really?
Very,
Yes.
very monk looking.
Yeah. See?
You know your shirt clashes with the chair.
You know your chair clashes with your pants.
Your butt.
Exactly. All right, let me turn on this thing and mirror this thing. All right, so we're back. So you can see me now.
Yeah.
Well, hot shit. Okay. Again, long before I was an employee at Portalarium, I had shared my opinions on pushing back release dates. And as we look behind me, God damn it, wrong side again. Up there, we have Ultima 1. It's shipped on time. And Ultima 2, Ultima 3, Ultima 4, Ultima 5, Ultima 6. These shipped on time because they weren't terribly complex. Ultima 6 shipped a little bit late. Ultima 7 shipped really late. Ultima 7 was really quality. Ultima 7 Part 2 didn't quite ship as late as it could have and had some content cut. Ultima 8 shipped on time and Ultima 9 shipped on time, and we all know what happened with those. So, I've said it 100 times. We all know what happens when things are forced to ship on time. So I personally was relieved when I heard it, just because I'm basing it entirely on history. So yeah, I'm also hoping for quality over quantity, and so far everything that I've read out in the wild has not been negative. I think people understand that. People who know the history of Ultima understand that pushing stuff out the door isn't exactly helpful. I mean, what would you rather play, Ultima 7 or Dragon Age 2?
Sorry. Let's not get into that boat. But yeah, it's just, how does everybody else feel? I know Chris and Star were talking really hard about how they were trying to push up the graphical fidelity so that we can appreciate it more, and so they can keep on the par with the newer games, and how they're actually testing Unity 5, I believe, specifically for the hair. At least that's what I read. Anybody, any thoughts on that? More hair means better beard physics.
The hair actually had me laughing in R5. I think we had too much oil in it. I was thinking they really needed to close the oil bottle because, yeah, my hair does not shine that much.
Speaking of oil, this Dragon's Meet is brought to you by Dreamweaver.
Brought to you by
To be honest, when I make a character for the releases, I always have to go clean-shaven because all of the existing beards and mustaches look like they're made of plastic and then stuck to a face.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah, same with the hair on the head this time.
But again, these are obviously just placeholders. We really shouldn't be shooting for the graphics. We knew that they were going to make them better.
Grayson likes them because they look like Legos.
The beards actually really do look like they're attached on.
Yeah.
They just clip off.
But again, these are all placeholders. Granted, there's been about 20 forums, 20 threads on the forums about the game's graphical fidelity sucks. And every single time I have to jump in there, it's these people who probably had like 3 posts or 5 posts prior and joined the game a week or 2 before they actually posted. So,
but the general response to a lot of those posts is a large number of people saying it's early in the process, it's not a big deal, they're focusing on other things, everything's cool. And about the delay, I mean, it was almost everything I saw was either that's a good idea, or yeah, everyone knew that was going to happen, and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
For me, of all the things that I saw on Star's post, the thing that got me the most excited, and we'll see if you guys can agree, caught this or agree with it. Star was talking about the optimization for linear lighting and the desire to add irising, which if you've played Skyrim and you look at the sun and it's bright, but then you adjust, and then you look in the shadow and it's dark, but then you adjust. the irising, adding that, and
So
that got me super excited.
kind of
It's
like
light exposure effect.
like a good example is like you're driving through a tunnel and you leave the tunnel and the light shines in your face, kind of a
Right.
deal.
Like if you look into the shadow, you can't see anything, but once you're in the shadow, you can see something.
Exactly, and
And
that's yeah, I love that. God, what else did they describe? I know Chris, he had a big post about how they wanted to have a certain level of night, so when you actually go outside, when you get a torch out, it'll actually, illuminate things properly, and even during the day, when you have a torch out, it'll still illuminate things properly, and little things like that, I think, is going to help the game. It might add a certain level of mechanic involved as well. So, stealthy little bastards that can try to PK somebody, they can hide in the bushes and in the darkness.
You can attack the darkness.
Yeah!
The one thing I like that goes along with the whole lighting thing is what Rustic showed me during R5 is the fact that we can now look straight up. So it would be nice to see the lighting with the looking straight up into the sun or something. That's going to be awesome.
Yep.
You can't look quite straight up yet. You can look almost straight up.
Okay, it's close enough. It's a lot better than it was.
In my opinion, you can look up enough that I'm completely happy and satisfied. There's a very real problem with looking straight up. It's a phenomenon called gimbal lock, and you get stuck. It's basically you look straight up and you divide by 0, and the game goes. But I am I am more than happy with the amount that I can look around now, because it was so. That was something that was driving me crazy, and and I kept telling myself it's under development, but you tease me. I log into this beautiful world. Oh my God! Look at that freaking, just like hard-on inducing shattered moon skybox at night with the lens flare and the halo and the bloom, and I can't actually look at it. It's like or hey, check out this really cool bug zapper or Tesla tower. I want to go look at it. Trot. I can't see it. But I am so happy that I can see things now because there's so many gorgeous things to look at, like the 3-story rustic homes. Those are awesome, and it's nice to be able to see them up close without having to back way up just so you can look up at them. Always, the skybox that I mentioned before and stuff like that. Being able to look up makes me very happy. In fact, I would actually trade the ability to jump for the ability to look straight up if push came to shove.
I'm running on such a slow machine that I have almost all the graphics set to the very low end, so I don't get to appreciate some of this.
Well, speaking of having graphics set to the low end, a patch was pushed out in the middle of R5 with a veritable kidney shload of graphics optimizations. So frame rates in towns increased by about 50% with one of the patches that was released during R5. So hopefully that's made a difference for you. Of course, right now, unfortunately, nothing is quite optimized for lower end systems yet, because optimization is one of those things you want to do last, because there's no sense in optimizing a system that you may rip out and throw away.
And honestly, I'm playing on a laptop that's probably 5 years old, so I would and probably wasn't the top of the line back then anyway. So my expectations are not, I wouldn't expect it to run great on my machine.
Indeed. Any other rabbly thoughts there, Beard Commander?
I mean, does anybody have any thoughts? Any other ideas they want to talk about? Any features that Chris or Star talked about, like how they actually found a way to cancel out the hacking of other people's items, in terms of chests don't actually have the data codes of the items in there until you actually open it, stuff like that. Since we all know that the game's actually being run client side instead of server side most of the time, you'd assume that you go into another world, you can basically jack everybody's stuff easily, right? But now you can't, which is good. No, it lessens the chance of hacks, or at least successful hacks, I guess. Anybody going to find out details? Anybody use a dev tracker? I know Browncoat uses Dev Tracker. That's all he looks at.
I do. That's about all I look at now.
And why is that? Let's go into that conversation.
We really don't want to go there.
Yeah! We need a topic. Come on.
Well, there is only 10 minutes left.
Yeah, that's true.
What's the dev tracker?
Yeah, we don't know what that is.
If you go into the forum in the top right, there's this thing called Dev Tracker. You click on that, any of the developers who post anything will actually be only shown, and you can actually go to there.
It's basically an RSS feed for dev posts. So I could go reply to something David posted with poo, and you'll see poo at the top of it until some other dev posts.
Exactly.
And that's controversial live?
No, that's awesome.
No. That's awesome. No, I mean,
okay.
no. We look at that. It's the fact that we don't look on anything else besides Dev Tracker because a lot of people are.
No, you just open your forums to me because that's all I care about. So that's
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I hit that, and the most recent posts is the only two I look at.
Yeah.
And yeah, a few people that I follow.
Thank you. I didn't know about that.
There's
There
a
you go.
quote
I
by
helped.
Lewis Black where he says, "Don't think about that too hard, or blood will shoot out your nose." And sometimes I use that quote when I'm talking about certain things that I have read sometimes in some places that I won't mention.
Yeah.
Mostly the bathroom at the local coffee shop. They write weird stuff on the walls there. That's totally what I'm talking about. So, I realized I have just made it through 1 hour and 52 minutes of Dragonsmeet, and I have not had a beverage this entire time, which is going to make closing toasts a little bit difficult. Not exactly sure how that's going to work. So I am going to hold up my neon milk glass from yesterday, which was sitting on the floor because I forgot about it, so that's nice and disgusting. I really need to clean my house because I'm totally living like a freaking bachelor right now and leaving neon milk everywhere. You know, that's how you get neon ants. All right. So I will just raise my glass and shake it at you, and that'll be my toast. So closing toasts. Let's start on the right side tonight. So instead of starting with Mr. Burr, let's start with Seth. Seth, how are you doing?
Good. Let's see. Let's just go with our last topic. Toast to pushing the game back.
All right, here's to pushing the game back. Here's to not shipping on time for the greater good. All right, Mr. Drayson, a little late to the game, but never too late to make a toast.
I was just going to toast the Spacebards Neon Milk album, which kicked ass.
Indeed, to this kick-ass substance. Indy, William, and your hoe.
Thank you. I can't tell where we are in the order anymore, so that's killing me every time. I'd like to personally toast to Secret Projects.
Secret Projects and Hobloth 2.
Secret Projects and Hobloth 2.
Secret Projects and the Hobloth 2. Outstanding. I can't wait to release the details as they come into focus. A lot of it basically depends on initial triage of this is the stuff I'm going to ask permission for, this is the stuff I'm going to ask forgiveness for, and this is the stuff that once I get permission I'll tell you about. So that's all pending. Commander of the Beards. This broadcast brought to you by Dreambeard.
No, none of that. My toast goes down to dev trackers. Because obviously that helps a lot of people, apparently.
To the dev trackers, helping you keep your sanity since Shroud of the Avatar was successfully crowdfunded on Kickstarter last year. Brown Coat.
I will toast to. I'll toast to Amber Rain and Avatar Radio.
I second that, absolutely. To Avatar Radio and to Amber Rain being here for the very first time. So, speaking of Amber Rain, Amber, I think you've gotten the hang of how we do our closing toasts here at Hearth of Britannia. Would you like to share your closing toast with us?
And my closing toast is just go to R6 and them actually having the chance to clean it up instead of being forced to put in more stuff that we don't need right now.
Yep.
What do you mean? We don't need... What is it we don't
We don't need books. I've been looking forward to books for the last 3 releases. We don't need them. We need it quality, not quantity.
We do need books.
We do need books too. I believe whatchamacallit, Fire Lotus got really giddy when people were talking about selling books that people made. That'd be cool.
Okay, I am going to be one that is saying I really want the books because I know what's going in the books, like the Hearth of was it Hearth of Britannia Valentine's?
Poet Circle.
The Poet Circle, sorry. Yeah, they're supposed to be in there, and yes, I'm looking forward to it, but we don't need it. We need quality.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's an eventuality.
We'll build the quantity of them while it's being built. We don't have to worry about that. But
Okay, so to Fahrenheit 451, burn the books.
Woo!
All right, Mr. Burr.
Takes me a sec to find the mute thing. I've got something going on a laptop over here and my desktop here, and I keep grabbing the wrong mouse, which is a phrase that should be taken out of context at every opportunity. So yeah, to everyone here, and I hope I see all of you at Hobloth too.
I'm gonna fight you.
Inappropriately grabbing Sherry. All right, so I want to toast with my empty neon milk goblet. I want to toast to how much I'm looking forward to Hobloth 2, and if it turns out a fraction as cool as what I've got planned in my head, it's gonna be a really fun time. So as always, thank you for tuning into Hearth of Britannia. If you need to contact me or if you've got a question, rusticdragon@gmail.com. Everybody's welcome at the Hearth of Britannia. Let me know. And let's close by everybody, if you could unmute and follow the cue on 3. All right, 1, 2, 3. Indeed.
Indeed.
Put it on the
Chaos.
table.
Indeed.
What's this about chaos? Put it on the table. That is the proper answer.
Is he still doing that all the time now that you've brought it back to his mind?
Well, he went back to New York, so I haven't.
Oh.
So we'll see if he remembers when he comes back. So, thank you guys for tuning in to Hearth of Britannia. I'm Rustic Dragon, here with Attenborough, Amber Rain, Browncoat, Jason, Beard Commander, Indy, William, Joseph Drayson, and Seth Gupton. Gupton? Do you say it's Gupton or Gupton? How do you pronounce it? I've heard both.
It actually is both. My wife says it one way, I say it the other way. Since we both made up the name together, there's
Okay,
no real
that's perfect.
legit way.
So, here with Seth both ways, and this has been a Hearth of Britannia Dragonsmeet. So we'll see you guys next time, and hopefully we'll get a regular broadcast schedule up and running again. Have a good night, guys.